Well, good morning, everyone. Hope you're well wherever you are. This is Bill McCarthy from the Southwest Indian Foundation, and I'd like to introduce a subject, a topic this morning. It does involve a little bit of history, and well, it involves a lot of history, but it may be a subject that you're not familiar with at all. 1531 is the year, and Cortez had basically conquered the middle portion of Central America, especially Mexico. And it was a time in history that's very similar to our time here now. There was a pandemic of smallpox where millions of people died. There was conflict between the Spanish, who had invaded, and the Aztecs and the other lesser tribes in Mexico. In the midst of that turmoil, an event happened that changed everything. There was a peasant, an indigenous, a native peasant, Juan Diego, who was walking up in terrain that's very similar to what we have surrounding Gallup here. He was walking 15 miles. He heard this voice and this melodious singing. He responded to it by walking up to the little hill Tepeyac, and he was greeted by a woman who appeared to be a young native princess. So she appeared as a native. He, of course, was native, so there's this connection. And she made a request, and the words are, "I wish that a temple be erected here quickly, so that I may therein exhibit and give all my love, compassion, help, and protection, because I am your merciful mother to you and to all the inhabitants of this land and all the rest who love me, invoke and confide in me, listen to their lamentations, and remedy all their miseries, afflictions, and sorrows." Just to wrap up the story very quickly, Juan Diego went to deliver this message to the bishop, of course, and Juan Diego just told the version that the bishop requires some type of sign. So he said, "Well, go up to the top of the hill," and this is in the middle of the winter. This is around the time of the winter solstice. Please just go up and you'll find something, and then please gather them and bring them back. Well, Juan goes to the top of the hill. In the dead of cold winter, there are these beautiful full-blown red roses, not just red roses, Castilian red roses, where the bishop was from. He gathered them, brought them back, and put them into his tilma. The story from there is, and I'm not going to complete the story, but suffice to say that the shrine ended up being built there. The tilma itself was made of agave cactus, so it was the tilma would last maybe 15 to 20 to 30 years at the very maximum. And in the early days, when it was surrounded by smoke and incense and it was open, it would have deteriorated very rapidly. Well, the tilma is almost 500 years old. It is considered the most prodigious miracle in the history of humankind. That tilma is visited by 20 million people a year. It's as a religious place. It is visited. It's in the top 2 or 3, maybe Mecca and Jerusalem, the Wailing Wall, and it's in the top 2 or 3. 20 million people a year. There are so many astounding and astonishing things about the tilma. There are no brush strokes. There's no pigment. The material that's on there is not in existence that anyone knows about. It would have been long gone at this time, but it still holds the image. An image that I'm sure that you've seen for 500 years and looks as fresh as it did in 1531. Just a couple of other things about the tilma that I will tell you about. In 1921, Someone tried to destroy it by putting a bomb and a big bouquet of roses right in front of it. The bomb was a super powerful blast that blew out all of the windows in the basilica there. There was a massive iron cross that was just wrapped up like spaghetti, but the tilma itself was preserved. I could go on and tell you a number of other stories. However, I think that I would encourage you to do your own study, and many people have actually committed their life's work to studying the tilma. We're introducing a couple of things with regard to Our Lady of Guadalupe. One is that we have a brand new mask. We're calling the mask the Protectress. It's basically with the image of the original tilma on it. And then, as an encouragement for you to study this event with an open mind. We have a new book that we're offering. It's the Guadalupe Mysteries, Deciphering the Code. It's a coffee table edition with all kinds of illustrations, beautiful photographs, and tells the story. I would encourage you. I think that this is certainly the most important woman in the history of the world, and she's worthy. If anyone walks in beauty, it would be her, and may you imitate her, and may you walk in beauty.